Your whole journey was thinking there was like some portal into traditional media.
Yes.
What you didn't realize was in the pursuit of that, of trying to get on a show with 4 million viewers, you found a portal to 60 million. So let's talk about Push-Up Bra Challenge. Let's talk about Cinnamon Challenge. Let's talk about what happened next.
I just want to say right now, that don't stop. Don't quit. Because I didn't have nothing. I had nothing to lose. I came out to California. I was, the Tonight Show, if I get the thumbs up, they're going to see me. You're talking to everybody in line. No, they said go. I was like, what? And it was so funny because I saw President, before he was the president, on the show. I saw Prince. I saw how to interview everybody. I saw the good ones. People you thought that was great were terrible interviewers. People who are great interviewers, like, that performance was terrible. But then, obviously, they did some kind of sound thing. I knew everything about this show. All the producers, everybody, Anyway.
Well, it opened up, this is the definition of when one door closes, another opens. So let's talk about what happened next.
So I'm doing these, I had nothing to lose, and I'm doing my push-up bra, and then people were asking me to do challenges.
Can you explain the push-up bra? And then because there's a lot of, my audience is wide.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So there's people that are going to be like, oh my God, I watched GloZell for years. And then there's people, I have like my older QVC audience who's like, what's an internet? So explain tell us about the first video.
So
they went viral.
I'm going to do this video with this guy at the park. And I'm on my way, and I have on this red wig, and because I'm like, I'm going to be this character named Tracy. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm on my way to go film with him, and we don't have a studio, so we're going to film it at the park. On my way to the park, there's a fire. Okay, now I remember on Different Strokes, one of the detectives told Arnold, look, know your surroundings. If there's something dangerous happening, remember like what time, what street, where are you? Okay, and that clicked. So I'm like, I'm on Cahuenga and Lancashire. It looked like there's some kind of fire. And I look in the mirror, and I'm like, oh, I got on this red wig. I'm Tracy. I'm on my way to and I'm like, and I gotta go meet Peter at the park. And then I'm talking to myself, and here comes a car. I'm like, stay on your side, because I'm literally driving like a mad person because I'm trying to film, and so I'll be the person to tell when the fire started, because it just happened as I'm going there, and there's all this mayhem, and I'm like, I gotta go see Peter at the park, and I'm just improving this whole story. I don't put it up because this was really supposed to be about recording like this fire just happened, and then I was like, I don't have anything to put up. Let me put this up, and that's the one that went 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, 7, 8. Not when people say viral, like that was viral, and it was called I was like, oh, my push-up bra helped me get my man back, and that's the name of the video. And when you see that, you're like, what? It was actually something actually happening. And then I noticed, like, oh, and then I'm like, oh, my lips so chapped. Oh, these crusty crusts. And I'm looking like, oh, my, I'm filming and I look a mess. And I'm telling this whole ridiculous story.
People love the chaos. They
love
it. They love
the chaos.
And it's fun.
And the realness. Because it was happening.
So like at this point, how many subscribers, did you have on your YouTube channel?
Well, I was fascinated with the 10 people on my blog spot when I was talking about the Tonight Show, because, oh my goodness, because I thought maybe one of them was Leno. And I'm like, one day, and he's going to be so proud of me, because I don't know. Why would he be so proud of me?
Because you stuck with it and you worked hard.
And I'm like, he's a clean comic. I'm a clean comic. And it was just, and when I was at UF, he did something at a school. So I was like, when I get a chance, I'm going to tell him I went to UF, and somehow that's going to click. But when I was at the show so many times, he did so many things for so many schools. I'm like, oh, right. He's not going to care about you.
Remember?
Yeah. So that kind of thing.
So you had 10 followers on your blog spot, and
then I wasn't paying attention to the thousands that was on YouTube. Because I was only using YouTube to upload the video, because Blogspot was going so slow.
That is crazy.
So my friend's like, just upload it to this thing called YouTube. So I was uploading to YouTube, copy and pasting to Blogspot, and the Blogspot GloZell loves Jay Leno .blogspot.com. That's the name of it. It's out there somewhere.
The
there was a
internet
time
remembers.
that I wore a white wig because I'm like, I'm gonna look like Jay Leno, and I'm like, I don't know what the thing is gonna be.
Yeah. So you're not really paying attention. You're creeping and crawling along. You have a video or two go viral, and then you decide to start doing challenges.
Yes, people are like, you need to do the cinnamon challenge. Up until the cinnamon challenge, everything I did before that was things that I thought of. I'm like,
right.
I'm coming from like that's a plagiarism. Like I'm not copying somebody else's thing. So now understanding like so many people do a lot of different things. I'm like, I'm not doing the cinnamon challenge. And then finally I'm like, okay, and I have this whole dialogue in the beginning. I don't know what's so challenging about cinnamon. People have cinnamon all the time. In the beginning, I'm just talking because I'm like, I don't get it.
So tell people that they don't know, what was the cinnamon challenge?
Cinnamon challenge, you take a spoon of cinnamon and you try to swallow it dry. And I was just like, don't we do that? We put cinnamon in so many things, like cinnamon candy. So I did not get it. So I was like, well, I'll take a ladle. I took a ladle of cinnamon and I put it all in my mouth. And at that moment, I was like, oh, now I know why it's a challenge. Because I'm literally dying. I am dying. There's cinnamon, I'm coughing, and I couldn't catch my cinnamon is everywhere. I'm like, I had no water. I was not prepared for this at all. I'm like, oh. So I'm like, I'm crawling, I'm getting some water, and then it turned into like cake in my, like, I'm like, I'm really dying. So there, all this, and I'm trying to get to the camera to find the camera. So that, I was like, well, they can see what not to do. And I put that up and it was crazy. Like the first day, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, over 70 million. And then other people were putting it on that channel, million. I'm like, oh no, my mom, my teachers. I'm like, I'm educated. Then people gonna think that I'm the dumbest person. What, this is crazy. And it ended up being one of the best things that I've ever done. And then a lot of people have tried to mimic that.
Yeah.
And Starbucks used to have cinnamon out on the table that you could put, into your drinks. And because of me, they removed it. Because kids would go to, and they're like, oh, this is cinnamon. And they would try to do the cinnamon challenge.
Right. Well, I also heard it actually did hurt you.
Oh my goodness, my voice has not been the same.
So have you talked to a doctor about that?
Yes, I was actually on the show called The Doctors.
That's right, you were on The Doctors.
Yes.
Okay, so what happens?
It burns, burned up my esophagus, everything. Yes, so I'm doing much better now, but that's for a long time. Like people don't know that I sing or whatever. I'm always, it really destroyed my voice. It's a raspiness that shows up after a while. I'm almost feeling like, I'm almost at my capacity, because my voice does not. I'm telling you, that cinnamon challenge is real. People like, do it again.
Well, it's funny because there's so many young kids that do all these challenges that are so dangerous.
Right.
And you are you're a grown up, you're respectable, you're clean comedy. You're not trying to just be like
I wasn't trying to kill myself
and fan the fires of things. But like you were just
I was like,
you're just doing something kooky.
Yes.
But what that opened, because like when I think of what year did that happen?
It's been 11 years now.
Yeah, it's whatever year that was. Mm-hmm. When I think of like that, the every end of year roundup about what happened on the internet, there was that video of you puffing out the cinnamon.
Yes.
And so that was life-changing. Probably how most people got to know you.
Yes.
So now how do we fast forward to being invited to interview President Barack Obama?
I believe it was that video because it was it was so popular. And previous to that, President Clinton he went on a show called Arsenio Hall Show, and he played the saxophone. So you're like, oh, showing the cool side of being the president, where it was never like that. So here comes President Barack Obama, and what's going on now is the internet. The internet is it. So who's on the internet that can interview me? There's only one adult. Really, there's not that many adults on there at that time. And okay, now she's a clean comic, and she's married to a veteran, and so everything kind of lined up like that. So and his kids were a fan, so it was all great.